Yo guys, what's up? It's Gaz, and welcome to the Warframe video. So, let's just start off the video with today's April 1st. So, be careful for troll videos out there, guys. I was going to do a troll video today, but my idea was a little bit too extreme, so I decided against it. So, we're just going to do a normal video today. But yeah, definitely watch out there. There might be someone saying that Blast Impact is the meta or something, and they try to pass it off as real. So, either way, we got the Pangolin Prime today, which is the newest Prime sword they've added to the game, and it's actually really good. We've got a hybrid weapon here right off the box. It's a 26% crit chance, 2.2 multiplier, and 30% status chance, with an extremely high slash weighting on the base damage. So this thing is a slash proc monster, and it's also crit slash procs at that. So if you hit an enemy with this, and it's like any decent build on the weapon, it's going to destroy them. So really good stuff there, but the only problem with this thing is it has relatively low attack speed, but with all these really high stats, it kind of makes up for it because it can just kill stuff really easily. So 0.917 attack speed, probably one of the slower swords. We'll compare it to some other swords in a second here, some of the top tier swords in the game, and then we've got like 248 base damage, with the good majority of that being slash. So it's also MR14. Also, Titania Prime equipped. She has some custom animations where when she's walking around, she's like floating. So, looks pretty cool. We're going to actually do level 0 Titania Prime and a Kuva Flood just for funsies. So, here's the build I'm going to recommend to you guys with no Riven. Now, you might notice that there is no Blood Rush and there's no Weeping Wounds on here. That's because I do not like running those mods, because I never am running Naramon. Naramon, I really like the energy regen from Zeneric, and I just don't like running Naramon. If you were to run Naramon, you can do something like this, which is going to have Blood Rush and Weeping Wounds, which basically means as your combo multiplier increases and increases, it's going to give you more critical chance with the multiplier. It's also going to give you more status chance for the multiplier. So I'm going to show you both of these builds against some 170s, and then I'm going to show you the Riven build for a Kuva Flood mission. So these mods right here, like Prime Breach, Condition Overload, Berserker, Organ Shatter, and then these two dual stat viral mods, those mods cannot be removed. Like, I'd say those mods are staples on this build. And then the other two, Gladiator Might and Sacrificial Steel, these are like flex slots for you. If you don't mind about maybe potentially losing your combo all the time, you can run Blood Rush. If you want a little bit more crit damage, you can play Gladiator Might. I've actually tried quite a few mods in this last slot, and it's very flexible. So things like Buzzkill, actually not as bad as it would seem, because they actually remove the 4 times impact, puncture, and slash multiplier for procs recently. So increasing the slash damage is going to make it so you're proccing slash more often than viral, which is potentially good. It's a bit of a waste of a mod slot, I'd say, but yeah, it's okay. Let's quickly show the build I'm recommending to you guys with no combo multipliers in effect. We'll start at a level 100 and then we'll bump up to level 170. How about that? More realistic stuff here, and we will do a full mission gameplay. All right. So that was a couple hits there. The ground finisher obviously does a lot, and as you can see, slash procs galore. Couple hits there, and you're not going to get really above yellow crits with this build. That's why probably a lot of people won't like it, because let's be real, seeing red and orange crits is just more fun. So, not terrible, but it's more of like a base damage build than anything that's going to be focused on slaying the highest level enemy possible. This is more of just like Kuva Lich farming, sorties, those kinds of things. Now see, we're doing this all with like hardly any combo multiplier. This thing procs slash real well, as you can see. The viral and the slash mixed together. If you didn't know this, viral actually increases the damage of your slash procs and makes them just stronger. And slash procs ignore armor, so let's try the normie stacking up combo build. Oh, also one quick thing about the stances, guys. Whatever stance you want to run is actually the one you should run on swords. There's 4 different stances, and they kind of normalize them a little bit. So I'm personally using Swooping Falcon all the time because Swooping Falcon feels the best to use to me. But here are some of the multipliers. So for Iron Phoenix, there's a 3x multiplier and a proc on the first hit. Like, you could just look at this stuff on the wiki. I would really recommend either Vengeful Revenant Swooping Falcon or Crimson Dervish. And my personal favorite is Swooping Falcon. Crimson Dervish has some good multipliers. Vengeful Revenant has lots of weird stuff going on with it, like lots of knockdowns, lifted status in the normal combos, like slash procs. I do like Vengeful Revenant. It's pretty rare, though, so kind of hard to say. But yeah, Swooping Falcon just feels the most... It just feels like it flows the best to me, so that's the one I use. And you should just use whatever one you like as well, so... Let's show the normie build. Like I said, pretty much any normal person would recommend this build to you because everyone loves combo builds, apparently. Let's do this. So as you see, we have no combo multiplier, so we've taken basically no damage. Now we're getting stacked up here. We're going to start proccing slash a lot. And I'm kind of just like constantly attacking just so you can see how it stacks up real fast. That's like a couple hits on her. Now she got slash procced up. Since we're not running Naramon, we have to run over to the next enemy right away or we lose our combo multiplier. So those builds both work really well. Let's jump into a mission here. By the way, I would only run the viral build on here. I would not run corrosive. Corrosive didn't really work out the way I wanted it to because the slash procs are so important. So as far as a Riven, we have the Pangolin Sword Critatis, which is crit chance, crit damage, and minus Corpus. So it does not really one-shot Corpus with that minus 20%. Sometimes, but that's okay. We have lots of crit chance, 173% crit chance, and 7.7 multiplier with this Riven. Before we hop into mission, let's just compare it to some of the other best swords in the game. So, here we go. We're going to compare it to the Docker Prime right here. So, Docker Prime has faster attack speed, 10% more critical chance, and a better crit multiplier, but everything else is pretty much worse. It's got a lot lower base damage by about like 30-ish%. Actually, it's more like a third, 33%. A lot lower status chance, so your slash procs are nowhere near as consistent on the Docker Prime, but your crits are a lot better. So if you have a crit chance, or like a crit Riven, doing a Blood Rush build, it's going to scale better as far as crits are concerned on the Docker Prime, but I think this thing might be overall better because you got the status to back it up too. Let's go to the Broken War. Broken War, very similar situation to the Docker Prime, where we have a lot more crit chance and faster attack speed, but definitely lower base damage. And let's go on to a couple other ones. So, as far as swords, I have a Miwan sword, which was a crit build that I went for. I think it's called Urami. Yep. Okay, so this is a crit Miwan sword with Vargeet Tujai, Pei, and Miwan. So, honestly, really similar situation. This is probably a little bit worse than the Docker Prime and the Broken War, but it has more base damage. So, we're looking at faster attack speed versus the Pangolin, higher crit chance, lower multiplier, funny enough, and a lot lower status chance at 10%. We've also got 216 base damage versus the 248 for the Pangolin. So, yeah, the Pangolin's pretty much the best one, guys. So, hopefully you like the way it looks. Alright, so let's hop into that mission with no mods. Let's just do auto install here. Okay. Let's see what auto install recommends. You know, that's not the worst. I've seen worse than that. Seen worse than that on some Warframe Partners YouTube channels. Am I right? Alright, let's do this, get into the mission, and if we die, it's because we suck, it's not because of the build, right? Alright guys, so yeah, Titanium Prime Access, been really, really good. I hope that you've been enjoying it as well. I know a lot of people are kind of like iffy about the Corinth Prime. I do personally like it a lot, but yeah, the reload is what really annoys people with it, so it is what it is. They decided to change it, and you know, they're not going to change it back because that's a custom reload animation that they put on that thing. They are definitely not removing that at all. Now, maybe they'll add detonation and impact for the grenades. That would be really nice, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. I feel like they're just not going to change the Corinth Prime at all to suit the community's desires. So let's do this. Going to kill 118 enemies with this sword. Can we do it? I think we can. Oh, it's my minus Corpus Riven against these Corpus. Yikes. See, I'm going to try to stream today. I have a lot of stuff to do, unfortunately, IRL. But I'd like to level up Titania Prime as fast as possible, so I can do a video on her tomorrow for you guys. The thing about Titania Prime, she takes a lot of Forma. Titania Prime, the build on herself is going to take probably like 2 to 3, and then her pistols are going to take a couple as well, and I'm definitely not going to mod out her melee, the Dewata, I think it's called. That's just not happening. So as you can see, this is with a Riven, viral build with a Riven, because for the mission, like, why not just show you how it works with a Riven. Get a one-shot, even with minus Corpus. Like that guy, I think he died to a slash proc there. Pretty good. Now those guys are flying. I can't really hit him with my sword right now, so we're just going to move on. And we found the siphon. It didn't bug out, wow. It's an April Fool's miracle. But yeah, there's been some pretty funny trolls I've seen today with, somebody changed their Discord server icon to the unavailable, like, this server is unavailable little icon. I thought the server was down and it wasn't. It was pretty funny. Also, someone changed their Discord server icon to 69 pings at everyone. So that was definitely not the case. People are funny, that's for sure. And like I said, I want to make a troll video today, but it was going to be a bit too serious, and I decided against it. After I had a couple people say, hey, that's probably a dumb idea. You're going to actually get banned if you make that. So maybe next year, guys. Alright, so would I recommend this thing to you guys? We gotta always ask that question in these videos. Would I recommend this weapon to you guys? I'd say if you don't already have a really good melee weapon that you like a lot, yes, you definitely should. And even if you do have a melee weapon you like a lot, this thing is a slash proc monster, which is something that we don't need, but it sure is nice to have. So it's definitely major overkill for everything in the game right now. But it might be viable for like endurance runs, honestly. The Cronin Prime is really good for endurance runs, and this thing does a lot of slash procs. It's a hybrid setup. It honestly might be usable for endurance runs. I'll have to ask Zen later. I don't even know if he knows this weapon exists, though. So, yeah, we'll have to try that out. Because it should be, honestly, viable for endurance runs with how the status and the crit scales up. Pretty good, pretty good. For this, it's definitely annihilating. Yep. As far as good stats for a Riven on this thing, I'd say attack speed is actually a highly valued stat, because it's got relatively low attack speed. This is with full Berserker, it still feels a little bit sluggish. So yeah, I'd say attack speed would be a top tier stat, and then after that, critical damage, melee damage. The best negative in the game for melees after the Maiming Strike nerfs is minus slide crit, because I mean, first off, it's a sword. You're not going to be doing slide attacks with this thing. And it really, like, you can honestly still crit even when you do a slide attack with a minus slide crit ribbon. So that's definitely the best. As far as a secondary best negative, definitely not status duration, not critical chance or status chance. Finisher damage. Minus finisher damage can be number 2 best negative, or even number 1. Like, honestly, don't be mad if you have minus finisher as a negative, because that's a great negative. This thing's not really doing finishers at all. Like, I'll do some ground finishers here and there, but like, yeah, comparatively, like, it's not like a Naros dagger where you're like trying to rely on the finishers. Although that playstyle kind of got nerfed pretty hard. It still does a lot of damage, but it doesn't one-shot unconditionally anymore, which is what it used to do, which is kind of fun. Alright. So as far as where to farm the relics for this thing, I basically got all my relics for Titania Prime Access from Syndicate Relic Packs. I showed you guys the method I used a couple weeks ago, and yeah, I got all the relics I needed from that. I think I farmed like 1 or 2 from the Ukko capture mission in the Void, which is a guaranteed relic every completion, and those missions take like 50 seconds or less. So yeah, Ukko in the Void, really good. Unfortunately, the relic reward table is really diluted right now because there's actually an unvaulting currently active. So I got a bunch of Necros and Oberon relics, which is kind of annoying. Some Galatine relics too, when I want to get the new stuff. But hey, you know, whatever. Apparently they actually intentionally made the relics of the new Prime Access half the drop rate of the other ones, which I don't know if they've ever done that before. That's a little bit weird if they did, because, like I said, I don't remember them ever actually reducing the drop rate for new relics like that. But yeah, if you guys have been paying attention to the drop rates for everything in like every update, let me know if they actually have done that in the past, because I don't think they have. That's like a new clutchy kind of thing that they just did there. And I'm not super happy about it, but also I don't really care as much. But, you know, it might affect some people who have been, like, farming it. Because if you didn't know, getting relics is usually kind of a nightmare, because there's, oh, like I said, the drop table is so diluted with other relics that it can be like, oh, well, I just got a Titania relic, but I wanted to get a Pangolin relic. Like, that's definitely not a good example, but that's an example. And there's like tons of things you can farm for, so getting what you want is not always the case. But you know, that's how they make money. They try to add that layer of hopelessness into farming, so that people will spend money, people will roll ribbons, sell ribbons. I mean, yeah, look at it like this way: if they made ribbons not a crappy system, people would probably spend less money on ribbons, and they would ultimately make less money off of those players. So that's most likely why there's such a layer of hopelessness and RNG on ribbons. And that's my daily complaints about ribbon mods there, guys. But yeah, Pangolin Prime, top tier sword, probably the best in the game. I do really like my Doctor Prime though, not gonna lie. And I will continue to use the Doctor Prime, but the Pangolin Prime is definitely, it's being a little bit pushy on that top spot for me. So, hope you guys found this video helpful. If I can get Titania Prime leveled up by tomorrow, there will be a Titania Prime video with her builds. It's going to basically be a power strength build with Razorwing Blitz. Spoiler alert. So, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Please take it easy and be healthy. And definitely sub to the channel. Like I said, face reveal on Twitch at 10K subs on YouTube. Also, make sure you follow the Twitch channel if you want to watch some live gameplay of Warframe. Twitch.tv/Gaz_TTV. Take it easy, guys. Peace.